This segment is sponsored by iChiro Clinics. If you've ever suffered with chronic neck or back pain, you know what a struggle it is to get through the day. Things that were once easy are now strikingly painful, and you do just about anything to break free. Well, what if you could prevent that chronic pain by simply getting tested? Well, today I'm getting joined by Dr. Michael Quast. He's going to talk about how getting a simple test for our risk of injuries could do just that. Dr. Quast, thanks so much for joining me back here today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, and I'm excited because I know every time we talk, because we have a lot of good chats, you talk to me about how frustrating it is when folks come in, they're in this immense pain, but it's all because of kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. They've gone through and they've ignored their injuries. Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, so most people that come in, their problems actually weren't caused by tying their shoelace or picking up the pencil off the floor or reaching for the light bulb, you know, to change it. But that's what they say when they come in, and those were really last straw type events where the problem was already there. They just didn't know. And I always ask them, I say, hey, if you could have known that this problem was coming before it came, is that something you'd be interested in knowing? And 100% of them always say, I would love to have known, right?
Absolutely.
So they just didn't know what to do or how to know that they were at high risk of having a problem. And the cool thing is we have a bunch of physical tests that actually show you if you're at high risk, low risk, mid-level risk of having a problem in whatever body part we're testing.
Right, and so you have a little test that folks can do at home. You're going to test me right now. I'm a little nervous, but let's go. So what do I have to do?
Yeah, so this is a shoulder test. So what's been found is that if you can't do this test very well, you're at high risk of having a rotator cuff or a shoulder injury. So rotator cuff injuries, shoulder injuries are very, very common. Most of the time people do something really insignificant and then they get hurt and they have a tear in their rotator cuff. So we always ask them again, hey, would you have liked to have known that was coming or that you were at least at high risk or not?
Right.
And so the test is really simple. In fact, you guys can do it at home if you want to try this and see how you do. All you're going to do is reach your hand around the top and your other hand around the back.
Okay.
And you're going to try to touch your hands.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to hold this for me really fast and we'll see. I'll spin around so we can see.
Yeah. So
and
if you look,
I can touch my hands.
You're doing a good job there. You can do it and then try the other side.
Oh, I don't know about the other side. Oh,
good.
okay.
So now, just so for an example, if you couldn't do that, your hand would not touch and there would be a space there. If you can't touch your hands together, then that means that you have restricted range of motion, and then when you try to go do something in life that requires that motion, the odds of you getting injured are much higher.
Right.
So really what you want to do is test people, find where these imbalances are before they're hurt, and then work on fixing the imbalance, the failure of that test, instead of just trying to fix how they're feeling in that moment.
Right.
Because obviously you can take enough pills that you don't even know what planet you're on. That's not fixing what's wrong, right? So being able to watch those tests closely then gives people the advantage of preventing problems, of knowing that they're at high risk, and then as a physician working on that patient, we have a goal to fix your inability to do that test. And then once you can do that test, then we know your risk levels have gone way down.
Right.
You're more likely to not have an injury, but also you're going to perform better in sports. You're going to perform better in whatever activities and things you like to do are, and you're just going to have an overall better quality of life.
And I love that you talked about, you can, be on all these pills and all this different medication, but what I love about you and your clinic is that you really care about people in the long run. And so you don't want to just mask that pain, but you want to find a holistic approach to actually treating it.
Yeah, because what happens is over time, if we don't address the underlying cause, those problems will just get worse. So if you have a shoulder, if a person can't do that shoulder test, even if they don't get hurt, the shoulder will degenerate at a faster rate, meaning you're going to have higher rates of arthritis in that shoulder than somebody who can do that test normally.
Right, which is a scary, scary thought. But thank you so much for joining us today, and be sure to do that test on your own at home. If you can't touch those hands together, make sure to visit Dr. Quast at iChiro Clinics. For more information, you can visit them on their website. We actually have a link to it online at 13onyourside.com. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow on My West Michigan.